What's up, everyone? It's Brian here from Ride Your Money Wave. Last week, I received an email from a college-age student asking them what should they do with their money. And then second of all, they were asking me for tips to save. So I wanted to recap that real quick. It is, number one, it's very difficult to save and especially to plan when you are in college or you're that college age. And here's why. It's because you have competing goals. This person might have a goal to start saving for the down payment on a house, or they might have a goal to start saving for retirement, or they have a goal to start saving for their dream wedding, or they need a new car within the next 2-3 years. You have multiple goals and you have very limited money coming in. Planning during this time period is incredibly difficult. Compare that to when you get older, when planning is a little bit easier because I already have a car. I've already gotten married. I already put the down payment on my house. I can tell you exactly how much money my mortgage is every month. And I know my salary, so I have an idea, or I know how much money I'm going to be making every year if I just work simply a 9 to 5. So planning becomes a lot easier when you get older in terms of on a monthly basis, and you don't have as many things happening once your life kind of starts to settle down. So that's one big thing I think that people that are a little bit older have an advantage of compared to people that are just starting off on their financial journey. But regardless of that, one of the big things that she was asking for is like, how do I save more money? And that's really what today's video is about. My greatest saving tip that I have for you. And it boils down to opportunity cost. It boils down to knowing the compound interest on just a single dollar. Because we oftentimes ask ourselves, can I afford that? And it's a yes or no question. And you look in your wallet and you say, yep, I got $5, let's just buy it. But what's really going to change your behavior is actually measuring the opportunity cost of that money. And that's what I did on the phone with the student. And so that's what I want to do with you guys today. And you can use any sort of compound interest calculator. This one is from Dave Ramsey. That's the one that I use the most simply because it's easiest to use. But all you have to do is simply type in your age. So in this case, the person was 20 years old. And when do you want to retire? Let's put 65 years old. How much have you saved for retirement? Just a single dollar. And we can do this with multiple integers, things that we normally spend on a daily basis or amounts that we can kind of just mentally keep track of in our head. And then how much will you contribute monthly? We're going to put 0. Now, what do you think the annual rate of return is going to be? This is really going to have one of the largest impacts, that and how much time you have invested. But I would say anywhere between like 7% and 10% is going to be fair. If you are a follower of J.L. Collins, who we mentioned in my last video, then you are going to be a big proponent of investing in the total stock market index, which has a historic rate of return of about 12%. If you want to get realistic and you start to say, well, what about my real purchasing power? What about inflation eating away at this? What if I want to have maybe a little bit more of a balanced portfolio? I think a 7% rate of return, a real rate of return, so that's taking into account inflation, is fair, up to 10%. So let's just call it 9%. And so this looks at the opportunity cost of a single dollar today. Once you keep this number in the back of your head, you start to look at purchases a lot differently. So in this case, a single dollar saved is $54. A single dollar saved and invested turns out to be $54 in the future. You can do this for $5, $282, You can do this for $10, $565. Let's say, you're comfortable spending $15 on yourself going out to lunch or going out to eat. Well, that's $850 about. Now suddenly you go out to eat 3 times a week and you're dropping, $2,500 of future money eating out. If you do that on a weekly basis, my goodness, that's $10,000 a month. So understanding the compound interest, understanding the opportunity cost of each purchase, I think is one of the greatest motivators to build long-term wealth.